So, hello everybody on this interesting April Saturday. We had snow last night, which is very rare in the west of Ireland anyway, but especially in April. I've worked on my map some more. I was quite happy with the progress, going to do some more later. In the last couple of weeks I have been, well, last week really, I have been spending a lot of time thinking about the Lord of the Rings game LCG again. So today I'm going to play a quest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do the whole Mirkwood cycle. Not today obviously, but this is my plan. And I'm going to start with the first scenario from the base deck, which is called Passage Through Mirkwood, Flies and Spiders. You are travelling through Mirkwood Forest, carrying an urgent message from King Thranduil, who happens to be Legolas's father, for those of you who are interested, to the Lady Galadriel of Lorien. As you move along the dark trail, the spiders gather around you. Set up. Search the encounter deck for one copy of the Forest Spider and one copy of the Old Forest Road and add them to the staging area. I've done this. Then shuffle the encounter deck. Shuffle, shuffle. Flies and spiders. Passage through Mirkwood. The nastiest things they saw were the cobwebs, dark, dense cobwebs with threads extraordinarily thick, often stretched from tree to tree, or tangled in the lower branches on either side of them. There were none stretched across the path, but whether because some magic kept it clear, or for what other reason they could not guess. A quote from The Hobbit. I have put together a deck which is Rohan themed. I've only taken heroes from the base game. I've got Aragorn Leadership, Éowyn Spirit and Dunhir Spirit. I have taken a couple of cards from later expansions to have a Rohirrim themed deck. So I've drawn the Westward Traveller, the Escort from Edoras. I don't think this is in the base game. I know that the Westward Traveller definitely is not from the base game. In my starting hand, I've got Gandalf, Westward Traveller, the Escort from Edoras, Galadrim's Greeting, because of course we need to look into reduction of threat. The Favour of the Lady, which is an attachment which adds willpower to the hero it's attached to, so that's really good for questing. And the Ancient Mathem, which is also not from the game, from the base game, to help me with card draw, because the deck is actually quite substantial. So, let's see. We are going, first of all, everybody has got their resource. We have 3 in the staging area, a threat of 3, so I'm going to put a little marker here. And now we need to think what we want to do. First of all, I'm going to pay 2 to bring out the Escort from Edoras to help us with the questing. So let's see what we can do next. We are now going to quest for 4, 8 against a starting threat of 3 in the staging area, and our threat is 29, so the Forest Spider will engage. So, the first card is the Enchanted Stream. While Enchanted Stream is the active location, players cannot draw cards. Alright, so this goes into the staging area, and we're now facing a threat of 5 against 8. So we make 3 progress on our quest, and we're going to travel to the Old Forest Road. And after we travel to the Old Forest Road, the first player, i.e. me, may choose and ready one character he controls. We're going to ready Éowyn. and the forest spider is going to engage. It's got an attack of 2, and Aragorn has a defense of 2, so he's going to defend. We draw a shadow card. No shadow effect. Very good. And then done here with an attack of 2, together with Eowyn, with an attack of 1, will combine to attack the forest spider for 3. The forest spider has 1 defense, so it takes 2 wounds. Everybody readies. Threat goes up by 1. We're now at 30. Currently in the staging area, we have a threat of 2. We draw 1 card. It's another favor of the lady, and we get 2 resources. And we are not going to... Oh yes, we are. We are actually... No, we can't. We are going to attach the Ancient Matham to the Old Forest Road, so that we can actually draw 3 cards once we complete that one. So, sorry, this one readies as well. So next up we're going to quest again for 4, 8, against a current threat of 2. We draw another card. It's a location, another Old Forest Road. So the current threat is now 3, against 8 is 5. 1 goes to the active location, and 4 goes to the Flies and Spiders quest. So the Ancient Matham is activated, the Old Forest Road goes away. We take 3 cards. And we get a Will of the West. Choose a player, shuffle that player's discard pile into his deck. Hasty Stroke, very good response. Cancel a shadow effect just triggered during combat. Very good, we like this one. And a Lorien Guide, also very handy. So now we're going to travel again. We're going to the Old Forest Road, and when you go to the Old Forest Road, what you're allowed to do is you can ready 1 character. So we're going to do this. We're going to ready Eowyn. Oops, that was only a 1. The forest spider is going to engage Aragorn. He'll defend. Oh! When revealed, deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. Yeah. Well, this means that unfortunately our escort is gone, and Aragorn takes 1 wound, but that's still okay. I'm not too worried. So basically we have 3 attack against 1 defense, does 2 wounds, so 4 wounds altogether on the forest spider. The forest spider says bye-bye. Everybody refreshes. Threat goes up by 1 to 31. We draw 1 card. A light in the dark. Choose an enemy engaged with a player. Return that enemy to the staging area. This is a card that can be quite powerful with Done Here, because Done Here has the possibility, plus in addition to threat reduction, to keep the enemy from coming down again and forcefully engaging you the next round. Because Done Here can attack enemies in the staging area, so he is very powerful that way. So everybody gets a resource. 2, 1. Now, we are going to... Yeah, we're going to bring out the Galadrim's Greeting, which is a bit of a risk because we only have 3 spirit resources, so we would not be able to bring out Hasty Stroke. but I want to reduce our threat by 6, so that brings it down to 25 to keep the nasties at bay, because I don't want to be engaged if I don't feel ready for it. So those resources go away. Yeah, that's pretty much all we can do. So yeah, we're going to go questing for 4. And if we want to, we can always discard a card to bring this up to 5. Yeah. Okay, 4. Actually, I'm just wondering. I revealed this as a shadow card, didn't I? It doesn't have a shadow effect. So actually there is no wound on Aragorn. Okay, so I'm going to quest with Éowyn for 4 against a current threat of 2 plus a treachery. When revealed, each player discards all the event cards in his hand. Okay, that is annoying, but you know, so be it. We make 2 progress. 1 goes to the Old Forest Road, and 1 goes on to the Flies and Spiders quest, which brings us to 8. So this quest is finished. A fork in the road. As you move through Mirkwood, hounded by spiders, the forest path forks before you. Unsure of what lies ahead, but spurred by the urgency of your message, you choose a path and proceed. Forced. When you defeat the stage, proceed to one of the 2 chosen path stages at random. So we have 2 that we need to complete. Do we want to go to the Enchanted Stream? Actually, no, we don't, because we do want to draw cards. So first of all, everybody refreshes. Threat goes up by 1 to 26. We draw a card. And it's the Snowborn Scout. Very good. So everybody gets a resource. Aragorn is now at 3. Éowyn at 1. Done here at 1. What I would really like to see is a... Yeah, I would really like to see a Steward of Gondor at this stage. So first what we're going to do is we're going to get the Favour of the Lady, because we don't need to save our spirit resources just now because we just lost the very essential hasty stroke. So we're going to give this Favour of the Lady attachment to Éowyn, which means she increases her willpower by +1. Then we're going to bring out the Snowborn Scout, first of all, to put 1 progress on this location. And then we're going questing with Éowyn for 5 against a threat of 2. And we're going to draw a card, and it is a Dol Guldur Beastmaster, Dol Guldur Orc. Forced. When Dol Guldur Beastmaster attacks, deal it 1 additional shadow card. We don't really have to worry about this one because it's got threat 35, so it's just going to sit up there. Alrighty, so, okay. Yeah. So we have 5 against a threat of 4, which brings this one up to 1. And now we will travel to the forest, to the Enchanted Stream. We can't draw a card. Everybody refreshes. Threat goes up by 1 to 27. But we are going to give everybody resources, because everybody does get resources, don't they? While Enchanted Stream is in the active location, players cannot draw cards. There is a stream I know. There is 1 stream I know, black and strong, which crosses the path, that you should neither drink of nor bathe in, for I have heard that it carries enchantment and a great drowsiness and forgetfulness be on. So everyone gets a resource. Aragorn goes up to 3. Yeah. We're not going to bring out Gandalf because we need him when we fight the spider. So again, we go questing for 5 against a threat of currently 2. And we're going to draw a card. And it is the Necromancer's Pass. Stronghold Dol Guldur. Travel. The first player must discard 2 cards from his hand at random to travel here. So that's 5 against 5. We're going to discard the West Road Traveller. So that brings our threat up to our willpower up to 6. So we make 1 progress on this, so the enchanted stream goes away, which means we can now... We're not going to go to the Necromancer's Pass. There is no reason to do so. So we're going to draw a card. Everybody refreshes. It's a Astonishing Speed. This is a card that I've never played with before because it's new to my Rohirrim deck. It's an event, and until the end of the phase, all Rohan characters get +2. Now this is interesting because if I'd still had the Western the Edoras escort, then they would be questing for 6 actually. So unfortunately they got killed, but that's okay. So let's give everybody their resource. 2, 2 and 4. So what we're going to do is we are going to quest like crazy. We're going to quest with down here for 1. We're going to quest with Eowyn for 5, brings us to 6. Plus we're going to play this event for 3. Which means that for each of these Rohan characters we get +2. So we are now at a level of 10 against a current threat of 5. And we get the Mountains of Mirkwood. Travel to reveal the top card of the encounter deck and add it to the staging area to travel here. Response. After Mountains of Mirkwood leaves play as an explored location, each player may search the top 5 cards of his deck for 1 card and add it to his hand. Very nice. So that's 7 against 10 means we have 3 left. So this one is explored. And the next one arrives, which is a chosen path. So here we have 2 possibilities. And we have to roll a die. 1 to 3 is the left one, and 4, 5, 6 is the second one. And I roll a 5, so we get don't leave the path. The shadows grow darker and you realize that a foul presence is aiming to draw you from the path. You must defeat it to pass this way. When revealed, each player must search the encounter deck in a discard pile for 1 spider card of his choice and add it to the staging area. The players must find and defeat Ungoliant spawn to win this game. Okay, so I'm gonna... that's funny, it's actually the first card that comes up. So Ungoliant spawn makes it to the staging area. So now, let's see, we are going to travel to the forest. To the mountains of Mirkwood. Reveal the top card of the encounter deck and add it to the staging area, which is a king spider, woohoo! Which is actually going to encounter us. Which is going to engage us, I mean, so it's coming down. And it has 3 attack. And 1 shield. So what we're going to do is we're going to sacrifice the Snowborn Scout. For escape, no shadow effect. The Snowborn Scout dies. Aragorn is going to engage for 3 against a defense of 1, brings him up to 2. Everybody refreshes. 2, 1, 5, 1 card, a Silverlode Archer, and finally we can start spending Aragorn's resources, and we're bringing out the Silverlode Archer. And if we want to, we can bring in Gandalf. So, sure, why not? We're gonna spend the favor of the lady, bring it out so that Éowyn now quests for 6. And we will see what happens next. First of all, we're going to quest. The quest in the area, in the staging area at the moment is 8. So we're going to quest with Éowyn for 6. And... or are we? Yeah, we are. I think I forgot to put up the threat. Okay, so 6. 7, 10 against 8. Dol Guldur Beastmaster. So that's 6, 8. No, it's 9 against 10. Threat goes up by 1. Made progress. Everybody readies. 2, 3, 1. Draw a card. Faramir. Well, oh sorry, I forgot to resolve the King Spider attack. And nothing happens. Oh crap, I think I made a mistake, didn't I? This one should have gone out. No, actually he's a Silverlode Archer, he's new. He died. Well, nothing happens with the King Spider. Okay, alrighty. So now what we need to do is we need to think what we want to do now. We could bring in the Lorien Guide. Or we could bring in Gandalf to do 4 damage to the spider and quest like crazy. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So first of all, we're doing 4 damage to Ungolion's spawn, I should say. Then we're going to quest for 4, 5, 6, 9, 10 against 10. Treachery. When revealed, each enemy and each location currently in the staging area gets +1 until the end of the phase. If there are no cards in the staging area driven, okay, that's not good. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 against 6, 7, 11, 12. Threat goes up by 2. Aragorn's going to defend against the King Spider. Defending player must choose and discard 1 attachment he controls. Okay, 1 attachment's gone. 3 against 2, 1 wound. Gandalf leaves play. Everybody refreshes. Now this is not looking as rosy as I would like it to look. Threat goes up by 1. 32. Ungolion's spawn is going to come down. That's not good. And Ancient Mathem, it's not good either. It's not what I'm looking for, really. 1, 2. Okay. Now we certainly do have an issue. Okay, we are going to be overwhelmed by enemies this turn. This is not looking good. Okay, we are not questing at all. So we have 3, 5, 8, 10. 12 against nothing brings our threat up to 44, and everybody comes down. So we have a forest spider, 2 Dol Guldur Beastmasters, and 1 Ungoliant spawn. Okay, now this is going to be fun. So first of all, Ungoliant is going to engage Aragorn. No effect, and he takes 3 wounds, bringing him 1 point short of death. The forest spider is going to engage Eowyn for 3 against 1 equals 2. She now has 2 wounds. This one is done. This one is done. And yeah. And the Dol Guldur Beastmaster number 1 is going to attack Eowyn. Oh god. Is going to attack down here. Okay, so first of all we have an issue because we drew the hammer horns. Deal 1 damage to each character that the defending player controls. So basically 1 damage to Eowyn kills her. 1 damage to Aragorn kills him. And here we have 2 damage plus 1 is 3 damage. So we're looking at 3 damage. And this one would be undefended and this one would be undefended. Let's see what happens. No result. So he does 3 damage. So basically these are gone. So then down here is gone as well. So as you can see, this is quite interesting. I usually do not fail at this quest. I have a pretty good idea what happened actually, because I did put in a lot of cards that I'd never played with before. And I have to learn how to probably, well, I will have to cull the deck a little because it is quite big. And a lot of the cards that I would have needed to be effective never came out, such as, for example, the Steward of Gondor, which helps me generate Aragorn's resources, plus, very importantly, none of his allies came out, except for 2. So I will have to check again, and of course we were kind of I mean, we did have a really good start because we had threat reduction and we did have an Ancient Mathem, which was card draw, but it wasn't enough. So I'm going to go over my deck again because that is the beauty of this game. In my opinion at least, that a lot of the gaming actually doesn't happen during the game, but before and after. Before because you have to prepare your deck, and after because you have to do an analysis. So this is actually a lot like a war game where you then do a post-mortem of the battle and you kind of go, okay, so what worked, what didn't work. I can't say that my card drawing with regard to the encounter deck was terribly unfortunate. I mean, it was unfortunate that I lost all of these events. That was a problem. So, yeah, I could have done without that. But again, you know, just one unlucky draw shouldn't destroy your whole yeah, there are all the allies that I would have wanted, but that never came into play. Yeah. Yeah, so first of all, now I've just thinned out the deck a little. I've just removed 4 cards. And I may actually take out the Westwood Traveller entirely. Or the is it Westwood or West Road Traveller? West Road Traveller, my apologies, because yeah, exchanging one location for another isn't really as important in this quest. So like I said, I just basically decided to go with a Rohan themed deck, and I pulled out all of my Rohan, or several of my Rohan themed characters and cards. Yeah, I don't really think we want the Westwood Traveller, West Road Traveller, which is not really something, but I do wonder why I don't have 2 hasty strokes in here. I can only see 1. Now that's odd. I'll have to find that one. Yeah. I mean, Faramir would have been absolutely essential when it comes to questing. So, yeah. So I hope you found this entertaining. I am going to replay this with a slightly amended deck and probably will post both versions today.